Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. In this important video, I'll give you some important comments and some important announcements from the US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who speaks on behalf of the President. In fact, he specifically said he and the President wanted more stimulus. I'll give you some of the latest updates about the stimulus negotiations and where things are likely to be headed in the coming days and weeks. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Make sure to send us a text message if you want to get added to our SMS list. You can also get added to our email list, and also make sure you bookmark our channel at youtube.com/ignition time in case you don't get notifications from YouTube. With that being said, let's jump right in. The US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin was testifying before a House subcommittee that was investigating the federal response to the pandemic, and he specifically told the committee that he supports extending federal unemployment benefits. And he also said that a second round of economic impact payments, which is specifically the second stimulus check, were critical to the economic recovery. These were his words. He described both these benefits as critical to the economic recovery. We'll actually show you a clip of the US Treasury Secretary speaking, so you can see that for yourself. But he did defend the administration's use of executive powers, the executive powers that the president implemented, the lost wages assistance program, and he said that those actions provided critical relief. So essentially, as all of my viewers and subscribers know, the $600 a week enhanced federal unemployment benefit ended over a month ago. At the time I'm recording this, I'm actually outside on my patio and it was raining earlier, so hopefully it doesn't start raining as I'm recording this. And now the way we stand right now is the president simply cannot authorize new spending at this point in time because he did what he could, and right now it's going to be dependent on Congress, which means that there needs to be a consensus. Otherwise, there's going to be no more funding. And you can start to see the president already went up from $1 trillion to $1.3 trillion. The US Treasury Secretary has been eager to speak with House Speaker Pelosi to sort things out. So you can see that there is essentially a willingness on the part of the administration to try and get something done. Now, both Democrats and Republicans have supported a second round of stimulus payments, and there have been disagreements, unfortunately, over many other aspects of the bill, including the amount of extended enhanced unemployment benefits. The Democrats wanted $600 all the way through next year, whereas the Republicans only wanted to do $300 or $400, and they wanted to do $600 just for a couple of weeks. So the Democrats weren't really buying that, and the Republicans didn't want to do a whole lot. Also, there's been a lot of contention about aid to state and local governments, and that contention has prevented any negotiations from actually materializing into an actual bill. So that's where things stand right now. Now, Mnuchin did reiterate that he was willing to negotiate with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi anytime. That's what he said. And keep in mind that Speaker Pelosi has criticized the White House for being unwilling to compromise on the actual size of the bill. She actually said that, they don't understand the needs of the American people. That's what Speaker Pelosi said. And Speaker Pelosi specifically said that they needed to raise their top line number, which currently stands at $1.3 trillion at the time we are recording this video. And Mnuchin also said that a much more faster targeted assessment based on what both sides agree on, would make sense. He said we should agree on areas where we can agree and move forward. In other words, they wanted something a lot more targeted. Now, initially, the Republicans proposed something called a skinny bill, but skinny doesn't sound very good. And so that's why they came up with the word targeted. We will see some sort of a proposal in the Senate next week based on the recent announcements from Mark Meadows and based on something that the Senate Majority Leader also alluded to earlier. However, it's likely to be largely symbolic because although the Senate can introduce a bill, although the Senate can pass a bill, there is no chance that that bill can become law unless the House also debates it and unless the House also supports it. Both chambers of Congress are required to support a bill before the bill goes to the president to become law. So the Senate can essentially pass whatever they want. And by the way, the Senate is not going to pass a $1.3 trillion bill because, a lot of Senate Republicans are not in support of a lot of stimulus. So that's why the Senate will consider a scaled down version of the bill, a targeted bill, if you will. But any discussions about this targeted bill, in my opinion, are a complete waste of time. Why? Because the Democrats are highly unlikely to support it. In fact, if Speaker Pelosi is not willing to come down from where she's right now at $2.2 trillion, she's not going to agree to, she's not even going to entertain a debate about a $500-600 billion targeted bill. So again, the Senate can pass the bill. They can do whatever they want. But if the House is not willing to debate it and not willing to engage in the discussion and support it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be a largely symbolic gesture. Keep in mind, again, that if the Senate passes a bill and the House doesn't support it, it's simply going to be a symbolic gesture. It's going to be a line in the sand, if you will, and it's going to be a statement, a public statement from the Senate saying, hey, we passed this, but the Democrats didn't support it. And we know what the Democrats will say. The Democrats will say, wait a minute, we passed the HEROES Act in May. What were you doing since May? So this is where things stand right now. For me, keep in mind, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. I want my viewers and subscribers to understand both sides of the argument. And I believe my viewers and subscribers, you guys know enough and you guys have enough insight, have enough knowledge, and you folks have enough intelligence to come to your own decision. So where we stand right now is that Speaker Pelosi has not supported a piecemeal approach that would include multiple bills, which, by the way, is what U.S. Treasury Secretary was referring to. And he said, we've done multiple deals before. We can do multiple deals again. That's what the U.S. Treasury Secretary said. He also said, we will continue to work with the Senate and House on a bipartisan basis for a phase 4 relief package. I believe a bipartisan agreement should still be reached. So you can see that there is that optimism, if you will, from the U.S. Treasury Secretary. In fact, his specific words were, more fiscal response is needed. The president and I want to move forward with more fiscal response, and we are concerned about the expiration of the enhanced unemployment insurance. He's referring to the $600 a week federal booster, which ended in the end of July. And he said that I'm very proud of the last 2 bills we passed with the Senate majority. And he said that is the definition of bipartisan support. He's referring to the CARES Act. Unfortunately, since the CARES Act was passed in March, the political environment has become very partisan, very divided. And so we are not at the level of agreement we were. When I say we, I mean the Democrats and the Republicans are not at the level of agreement that they were back in March. So that's just where things stand right now. And he said that I believe Republicans and Democrats need to work together to have additional support. As you know, I've been working on this very closely. And he said, I'm prepared to sit down with the Speaker at any moment, at any time to negotiate. And he said, I think the issue is not what is the top line. By the way, the Speaker said that the issue was a top line. And he said the issue is that we need support quickly. That's what's important to the American economy. We can come back again later. And I want to emphasize that the president and I want to do additional fiscal support. We've been working hard to try and reach a negotiation on a bipartisan basis. So for the Speaker, the top line number is very important. For Secretary Mnuchin, he is indicating that for him, getting it done quickly, even if it's a smaller, more condensed bill, is more important. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm very keen to know what my community thinks about the House Speaker's position, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's position, and about the U.S. Treasury Secretary's position. Which position do you agree with? I know there's one thing we agree with, which is that, there should be a bill. But what is the best path to get there? Is it the House Speaker's path, which is I'm going to stand firm, I want a big number, because if we agree to a small number, these guys ain't going to come back and do anything, which is essentially the Speaker's position? Or do you agree with the U.S. Treasury Secretary and Steven Mnuchin and the White House, the president's position, which is, hey, let's do something small now, what we agree with, and let's come back and do some other stuff later. This is not about the top line number. Let's take what is fundamentally a piecemeal approach, because there is no consensus on the top line number. In fact, this should not be about the top line number, is what Treasury Secretary said. In fact, let's listen to Mnuchin right now. Let's roll the tape and see exactly what he had to say.
More fiscal response is needed. The president and I want to move forward with more fiscal response. And let me just say, the expiration of enhanced unemployment insurance is something that we are concerned about. I am very proud of the last 2 bills in the Senate, passed 96-0 and 100-0. That is the definition of bipartisan support. I said in my opening testimony, I believe that Republicans and Democrats need to work together to have additional support. As you know, I've worked very closely on these before. I'm prepared to sit down with the Speaker at any time to negotiate. I think the issue is not what is the top line. I think the issue is we need now support quickly. That's what's important to the American economy. And if we need to do more, we can come back. So again, I want to emphasize the president and I do support additional fiscal response, and we've been working hard to try to get a negotiated agreement on a bipartisan basis.
So that's it, everybody. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you agree with Steven Mnuchin or do you agree with Speaker Pelosi? Where do you stand on this issue? Please comment below and let me know. It does sound like we are inching closer and closer to some sort of a consensus. The reason I say that is because I have seen both sides budging, and I see Steven Mnuchin more and more wanting to come to some sort of a consensus, some sort of an agreement, which is a good sign. I've seen the president raise his number, which also is an encouraging sign. Now it really depends on what's best. This is the way our system works. This is our system of government. Ideally, the people should get the best of both worlds. The people should get the best ideas from the Republicans and the best idea from the Democrats. And I believe people who need help the most should get it. And right now, there are a lot of individuals who need help. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me, check out my introductory story. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. I want to help you live your American dream. So definitely, please make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications, because we work very hard to bring you this information in real time in most cases. So please click like, subscribe, please enable notifications. It really helps me and my team. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and that would be a big favor to me. I would really appreciate that. Also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. Definitely send us a text message. So get your cell phone out, send us a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS list. You can opt out at any time. You can also get added to our email list if you go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. And you can opt out of our email or SMS list at any time. Now, sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications. So go to youtube.com/ignitiontime. That's youtube.com/ignitiontime. And you can bookmark our channel and visit our homepage, and you can get updates on our homepage of all the new videos we release, just in case you don't get notifications. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications so you can get instant updates going forward. I appreciate you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye.